20, and we welcome in one of our good friends, the head women's basketball coach at the University of Hartford, Jen Rizzotti, also Women's Basketball Hall of Famer. Congratulations, a well-deserved honor, Coach.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Now, you're used to being up at this hour with two young boys, and it's a busy month for you being on the road recruiting.
Yes, we do have a busy month. I am currently at home. But, yes, they get up, they test me early in the morning, so which isn't a bad thing when I've been on the road for a few days to get up early to spend time with them.
And it says nothing about your husband and assistant coach, Mr. Sullivan, though. He's probably up at this hour cleaning the golf clubs.
Yeah, probably.
Let's talk about the Women's Hall of Fame before we get to the walk for Weaver. A tremendous honor. Everybody in the state knows your career from New Fairfield High to UConn, and now the work that you've done at the University of Hartford, and a national team coach. But still, with all that, it must be exciting when you get the call and they inform you that you're going to join the pantheon of greats already inducted into the hall in Knoxville.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of painful to think about having to travel to Knoxville once again, but other than that, it is absolutely a tremendous honor, and I was thrilled when I got the call. It's not, when you're in the middle, when you feel like you're still in the middle of your career, it's pretty amazing. I know I'm getting inducted as a player, but I feel like I'm still such a young coach and still very involved in the women's game. So it's a nice reminder of, what I accomplished back in the playing days, and I've always been fortunate to play for great teams and have opportunities to win championships, and it's a nice reward for all the hard work I put into my playing career.
And if I remember right, you won your only game that you played at Thompson Bowling Arena.
You bet. You bet.
That was a memorable game. And you mentioned a young coach. You're starting year 13. It's a good thing you began coaching when you were 22.
I know. I didn't say I was that young anymore, but. I'm hoping to be coaching for a long time, and when all is said and done, hopefully there'll be an opportunity to have the same kind of success as a coach as I've had as a player. And it's unbelievable how fast time goes by. But I did actually start coaching while I was still playing.
Right.
So there was a pretty big overlap there.
And you work for a terrific athletic director in Ms. Miser, so you have a great working situation there at the university.
Yes. Well, I've been fortunate. Pat obviously has been recognized this year as a trailblazer for Title IX. So you're talking about working for somebody who's not just been involved in athletics for over 40 years, but somebody who has paved the way for other females who are looking to be coaches and administrators. And she certainly understands the commitment that goes into having a successful women's basketball program at Hartford after working at UConn and Penn State. And, she's given me everything that I need to be successful. So, to come out, from playing professionally and having your first opportunity in coaching be for someone like Pat, I don't think I could have been more lucky.
Talking with Jennifer Rizzotti, head women's basketball coach at the University of Hartford. And the women's basketball family will do a great thing on Saturday, September 8th at the Reich Family Pavilion. It's the Walk for Weaver to support a former Hawk, Amanda Weaver. Can you just talk about Amanda a little bit, Jen, and what the event's all about?
Sure. Amanda graduated two springs ago for us, the May of 2011. She was part of, that kind of incredible run we had in her senior year where we started out 1-9, and she was actually hurt. She had torn her meniscus, and of course now I'll probably, I can say that she was the reason we turned it all around. But she was one of them. I mean, she was a great senior leader for us. She had her best year was in her senior year, and I think it was one of my favorite championships because of her and Mary Sylvia and Jackie Smith being seniors, and just having them go out on top. And I'll never really forget that moment and looks on their faces. And then it was also the year we got to go up and play UConn, which I think in some cases isn't ideal, but for three kids that grew up in the Connecticut area and knowing what UConn basketball was all about, it was pretty special for them to play in Gamble Pavilion. And they were all three really close players, and this about a month and a half ago, Amanda let us know that she was diagnosed with colon cancer. Sorry.
That's all right. Totally understandable.
Yeah, I mean, she's 24 years old. It's not something that you expect, the kind of diagnosis you expect in a female under 50. And since that time, she's been, overwhelmed with support from her family at Hartford and her friends and teammates. All of our kids have gone down to visit her and have sent her packages. But, she's in the process right now of fighting this. She's going through weeks of chemo and radiation. And she'll have surgery to remove the tumor in September and then do probably 6 months more of chemo afterwards. So she's got a long fight in front of her, and obviously we're all praying for her, and our team has rallied around this cause because they're obviously very overwhelmed, having been her friend and her teammate for so long, and they immediately came to my office and said, we want to do something. And so we came up with this idea to host a walk for her to raise money. And they've done a lot of the work for it. It's going to be on September 8th at the University of Hartford, starting at the Rich Family Pavilion over at our gym. And the kids are invited, everybody in the Hartford community, and I think they already have hundreds of people who have committed to walking in the event. And we're actually hoping that we can maybe get Amanda there before she has her surgery. So it's a pretty overwhelming time for our family.
Obviously. And the registration starts at 9. The walk begins at 10. Yeah. The cost is $10 per person, or walkers can be sponsored. We'll put a link up to it on our WTIC website for you. I've already linked it on Twitter at Joe D Sports. We'll certainly do a lot to help you with this, and it's just it's a great cause, and hopefully Amanda sounds like she's a heck of a young lady, and it sounds like she's got a lot of her coach in her and a fighter, so that she'll battle through this, and it's all we can do is pray for her and send her our best and try to raise as much money to help as we can, and we'll certainly do that for you here at the radio station, Jen.
Well,
you know that.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. I mean, Amanda's amazing. She's probably handled this better than any one of us, and her family's amazing. And we just, it's unfortunate and it's tough to deal with, but if you have the fight that she has, you know that she's going to be okay. And you can follow her. There's a Caring Bridge website that she writes journals on to follow her journey and just kind of know how she's doing, and that's up on our website as well. And she's just an amazing individual. She's right in the middle of trying to get her doctorate for physical therapy.
Wow.
So it's a tough time for her to have to give up on her future, but we obviously appreciate anybody who wants to come to the event and show up and sponsor a walker and make a donation for Amanda and her family. Well,
we will certainly help you with that. Jen, thanks for getting up with us and telling us the story, and our hearts prayers go out to Amanda, and we know she's gonna do great. And thanks for a little time. Say hi to Sully for me.
I will. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Jen. Jennifer Rizzotti. You can hear obviously a very emotional story. And again, we'll put a link up to that on our website, and I have a link up on Twitter, and we'll talk about that as well. All right, 7